Welcome to GameDemo.com's review of World in Conflict. World in Conflict comes with a teen rating for blood, language, and violence. Yeah, World in Conflict comes from these fine folks. Yeah, this review is done by Kevin Carney. It wouldn't have been possible without the help of these fine folks. I've been battling this thing for a couple days, and that's my disclaimer. You can find our updated textual review at Game Demo, as well as buy the full version and the demos available. If you have a video review or a fan site related to World in Conflict, send it to our warehouse and we'll possibly add it. Now let's talk about the game. When you first launch the game, you'll get a menu screen. You get single player, multiplayer, tutorial. If you download the game demo that's available at GameDemo.com and play the tutorial, it's the same when you get the full version, so you might want to skip that. And the options, you'll notice select mod, making this seem like an open-ended game where you'd be able to install mods. Let's talk about the cutscenes and voiceovers.
Russians proved to be tough adversaries, giving ground only when they absolutely
voice sound familiar?
making sure we paid a high price for every yard we gained.
The voice narrations happen during
days,
the
gap
map
opened in the
loads
Soviet
on the
lines
single
and
player
Colonel
phase.
Sawyer ordered several
There's no
companies
way
to
around
the Soviet
avoiding
headquarters
them.
had been found.
However, after you play a map the
swiftly as
first time, it
possible.
does load a little quicker, and you
If
can
succeeded, the
skip
Soviet
out of the
defenses would collapse
full
and France would be
narration, so you don't
liberated.
have to
If we
listen to it
failed,
all
we would
over
be cut
again.
off from the main force
And now it's time to talk about the cutscenes. They do a pretty decent job of stringing a plot together for the single player mode. They do add an element or a little bit of emotion to the field. They can get a little tacky at times and a little annoying where it's like, alright, we get it already. I won't get into details because I don't want to ruin the surprise for you. It did add a little bit to the single player game. However, this game is a multiplayer game, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, in-game. Just going to show you the pan and tilt features of the camera, as well as a basic unit interaction. I've already selected my troops that I want, and they're deploying. I'll show how you do that a little bit later on. But basically, you see how I can pan up and down, left and right. I can zoom in. You can get in pretty close and get some serious detail. The vehicles and troops, when they run through like a field or snow, they leave tracks. Now here I'll just show how this deploys and the detail that you can see. And then as I pull back, you'll be able to see the overall map. So that's pretty interesting how you can do the overhead view, see the big picture, and then zoom in to get a up close and personal look as well. The interface itself, pretty basic, just point and click. Very similar to Company of Heroes with relation to you want the front of the tank facing front so it takes the damage. If it's hit on the side, it gets blown up quicker. Units have different abilities. Troops, you can run into forests, and that offers them a little more protection. The sniper as well, if he goes into a forest, that boosts his defensive rating. Now here I just wanted to show you quickly how I can select a tank buster to blow up those. Try to get you a view. Now that's coming from the top left. You'll see a blue button up there. And you'll see the plane coming in here. There he is. No, that's not available. You have to rejuvenate your supplies in order to accomplish that. But moving on to the multiplayer facet of the game, which is actually where this game lives. Right here I've created a server, and I'm able to choose between US and Russian. You have 4 elements: infantry, support, armor, and air. Now you notice that it also is telling me who's playing what, that there's no armor playing, and it's recommending that I play armor. Then I just select my deployment point. Once you select your deployment point, then you got to move on and select what troops you want. And it's important to consider the terrain that you'll be in, whether or not there'll be a lot of trees, a long distance to traverse. In other words, you don't want infantry running across a huge span. You'd want a mobile unit. But over on the right, you'll see me selecting different things.
We're sending in the reinforcements now.
I'll speed it up here just to give you an idea of what happens. They finally come down, select your points, you move them over to those white circles, and those are capture points. They'll move over, and once you capture or acquire all those points, you'll start to fortify them. They'll build up machine gun nests, anti-air nests, and start to fortify them so that you can claim that spot. I'll just show you some of the firefights. Some pretty intense battles. Can get frustrating. You'll be just about to accomplish something, and then they'll send in an arty strike or napalm, and it just ruins your day.
High school is under Russian control. Unit lost.
Hurry up with those orders, sir. Send us some backup.
So you see, as a unit gets killed, that capture point returns back to neutral. I just wanted you to get a brief idea of some cool explosions there. Alright, moving on to another multiplayer, just another type of gameplay. This is called Tug of War. Basically, there's a string of points that all need to be captured. Once they're all captured, the line or those capture points move over to closer to the enemy. In other words, the front line moves closer to the enemy's base. So there's, if you notice in the mini map down the bottom left, there's one spot that I need to acquire before that'll happen. So I need to take out that vehicle that's in there. Once I do, it'll turn back to neutral, and then moving into position, it'll turn to green, and then at that point you'll see it, the whole front shifts.
We have captured the front line.
Now, this creates a unique situation where if the opponent were able to rush back and capture one of those points that you're leaving, trying to move the front line, then the front line will move back, so you can see why they call it Tug of War. Okay, just to end this review with a bang, we'll talk about things that go boom. I've waited, if you notice on the left, I've waited a long time and I've been able to select a thermonuclear device, and I've launched it inbound. So you can see there's not much left. Now this creates a radioactive dust cloud, and I'll select my tank and drive it into it, and you'll see what happens.
Pushing our shout into the limit.
Just pan around it here so you get the visual. It's pretty neat. Alright, drive my tank into it. Now you see, you would think, hey, you have waited long enough. Boom. Nope, didn't wait long enough. So once you do use the device, you have to wait till things calm down and then eventually move in for the capture. So how would I rate this game? Well, every time I started to do the review, I would think about the game and then go start playing it again, and then 6, 7, 8 hours would pass and I wouldn't get the review done. So the fact that it took me so long to pump out this review says that I actually enjoyed the game. It is available at GameDemo.com. You can download the demo. You can also buy, then download, then play the full version as well. I hope you enjoyed this review of... which one am I doing again? God, it's all blurs together. World in Conflict.